Hey everybody, Jeff Reinhart here, LMP and Lancaster Online. Welcome into the Week 9 edition of the LA League Football Podcast. It's the Huddle, sponsored by Auto House of Lancaster. Super trippy, raspy voice this week, gang. This time it's not the weather. It's the Phillies' fault. I was down there for that crazy game 2 on Tuesday night, and everything you've heard about the atmosphere and the crowd at these baseball games is true. It's crazy, it's insane, and it's the time of your life, and it's so much fun. So if you're a Phillies fan, you know what I'm talking about. Wow. So struggling with the voice, I will press on and do my best. Okay, here we go. Week 9. There's a Thursday game. There's a Saturday game. And there's a whole bunch of Friday night games, and I heard it's supposed to rain again. So throw an umbrella in your trunk because it might get wet on Friday night. Stay tuned. Okay, let's rip through them. Quick nugget and a pick. Your Week 9 slate. One huge game, Section 5 first place showdown. Everything else intriguing. People are jockeying here for your Week 10 showdowns and for playoff spots, so there's a lot going on. Here we go. Thursday night, Central York at Reading. Central York's very good. They're 8-0. Jules Goff, Pitt commit running back, is fabulous. Broke the school's all-time rushing record last week. He's having an amazing season. Reading is at 7 losses. What's their streak at? They've lost 5 or 6 in a row here. Struggling a bit. Central York, really good. And they're looking to run the table and go 10-0. So I'm going to go Central York here. Panthers over Reading. Intriguing Section 1 game. Cedar Crest at Hempfield. Hempfield's lost 4 in a row. Trying to find it here for a fast finish. They're probably not going to make districts. Crest, safely inside the bubble for districts. They're at 7. But kind of would need like a win here just to make sure they get in. They get Lebanon next week in the Cedar Bowl. But one more tricky tester here in a section game for Crest. I'm going to go Falcons. Ran the heck out of the ball last week. Fernando Marquez, 178 yards and 4 touchdowns and a win over McCaskey. I think Crest stays hot. They've just kind of been that it team in Section 1 all fall, so I'll ride them another week. Cedar Crest over Hempfield. Manheim Township at Penn Manor. Wow, Blue Streaks. Just when you think they can't do something else crazy, they go and get a shutout win last week. Oh my goodness. Number 1 defense in the league. Their offense has been crooked numbers galore. Johnson, 33 touchdown passes. Kennel is up to 20 receiving touchdowns now this season. I got to check to see if there's an LL record somewhere floating around for most touchdown catches in a season, because I'm thinking 20. If that's not the record, it's close. So stay tuned. I'm digging for that. Penn Manor had their 3-game winning streak snap last week against Wilson, but that game was a lot closer. I think that was scoreless for a while. Wilson won 24-6, but good effort by Penn Manor. But their losing streak is over. Got to take Township here. They play Wilson next week in Week 10. Collision course. Hello. Streaks over Comets. Wilson at McCaskey. Bulldogs playing great. 6 wins in a row. They need a win here to stay on that collision course. Manheim Township at Wilson next week. McCaskey, again, doing things. This Jalen Cintron's having a really good season, throwing the ball around. Talton, Jones, they've been really great catching the ball. But Wilson's kind of been a different animal here. So let's go Bulldogs over Tornado. Wilson packing up the bus and coming down to the big city. Okay, Exeter at Conestoga Valley. CV had their winning streak snap last week. They fall out of first place. They lose to Manheim Central. Exeter beat Hempfield last week, so they stayed atop Section 2. Still a big game here. I know the Bucks have a loss. Exeter's 8-0, going for 21 regular season wins in a row. Jaden Zandier, what a game he had last week. Rushed for 250, 3 touchdown runs, had a pick, returned a kickoff for a touchdown. Hello. Eagles doing stuff. And as I've said here 8 weeks in a row, flying under the radar a tad. They come to Whitmer, they get the Bucks, and I'm going to go Eagles here. I think they get to 9-0 with Manheim Central coming to Riften next week. Wow. Exeter over CV. Governor Mifflin at Mannheim Central. Barons have really rediscovered their groove since the Cocalico loss. They've won, 5 in a row. Hahn's been great throwing the ball. Armold rushed for 200 last week. Aaron Ennerline had 4 touchdown catches last week. He's been incredible. He's got 19 touchdown catches. Barons playing great, and they're at home. They get the Mustangs. Really good rushing attack, yes. Came off a shutout win last week, yes. Defense playing well. But the Barons offense is just wow. Over 400 yards a game, scoring close to 40 points a game, and they have been clicking on all cylinders. They're at Exeter next week. They want that to be a winner-takes-all game, so Barons don't get caught looking ahead here. Central over Governor Mifflin. Lebanon at Warwick. Cedars looking to avoid a 30-game losing streak. Warwick played great last week against Muhlenberg. They had four defensive touchdowns, 3 pick sixes, and a fumble return. Wow. Bodie Madera had 2 pick sixes, giving him 3 this season. Warwick needed that. They had lost, 6-7 in a row since the Cocalico win in week 1. Put up 64 points, 4 defensive touchdowns, and they're at home here against a struggling Cedars outfit. So let's go Warwick over Lebanon. Non-leaguer, Ephrata at Muhlenberg. Ephrata, here they are, part of a 3-way tie for first place in Section 3 with Twin Valley and Garden Spot. This is a non-league game. 7 wins for Ephrata for the first time since 2003. Looking for their first 8-win season since 2000. And they're pretty much right there on the doorstep for getting their first playoff spot since 1987. I was a junior in high school the last time the Mounts went to the postseason. They're all but there. They are all but there. Non-leaguer here with Muhlenberg gave up the 4 defensive touchdowns last week against Warwick and 64 points. And now they got an Ephrata team that's really scorching. Angel Colazzo had an unbelievable multi-purpose dual threat night last week for Ephrata, rushed for 100, had a TD run, threw a TD pass on a trickeration play. Ephrata's been just fine since the Garden Spot loss. Mounts here. They see the playoffs, and they want to clinch it. Ephrata over Muhlenberg. E-Town at Garden Spot. Saw Garden Spot last week out there at Central Mountain. What a fun trip that was. Wow, that's deep. That is deep. When you're in Lock Haven, you know you've been driving for a while. And Garden Spot played great, 48-0. Kai Harding had a couple touchdown passes and a touchdown run. Garden Spot wins the non-league game. Then they find out that Ephrata knocked off Twin Valley, and Garden Spot bumped up to first place without playing a section game last week. So part of that 3-way tie. They get an E-Town team. Again, kind of back and forth, started with an offer, won a couple of games here, beat Fleetwood last week with a good passing attack. And now they go over to New Holland and they get the Spartans. I'm going to go Garden Spot here. They also see the playoffs, and they know if they can win out, they're going to get at least a tie for the section championship after losing to Twin Valley. So, wow. How about that for good fortune? Spartans here. Sparty Nation over E-Town. Daniel Boone at Twin Valley. Raiders looking to snap back after losing to Ephrata last week. Gave up 52 points. Engel and Johnson, they're 2 really good running backs. Both got nicked up in that game. So they played a goodly amount of that game without their 2 leading rushers. Engel's over 1,000. Johnson is poised to hit 1,000 this week, assuming they both play and they're both back in there. Twin Valley went from solo first to sharing first. So they want to finish strong here, make sure they get at least a piece of the pie and a good playoff seed. And they get the Blazers at home. Nice backyard rivalry up over the mountain. Backyard scrap kind of series. I'll go Raiders here. I think they refined it. Twin Valley over Daniel Boone. Solanco at Fleetwood. Johnny Garcia. What a year for this kid running the ball for Solanco. 1,200 plus now. 200-yard night last week in a win. Love what Solanco's doing. And now I'm hearing the chatter around the league too. Hey, Solanco's young. Look out. Yeah, they're going to be good next year. And they're finishing this year strong. Good for those guys. They get Fleetwood on the road. But I think Solanco wins here again. Just love what their rushing attack is doing. Really like Brickell at Fleetwood. This could be a run kind of a night. Best defense wins. I'll go Golden Mules, so I go over Fleetwood. Interesting game. Berks Catholic at Cocalico. The Saints have just keep finding ways to win. 2 weeks ago, they win with 20 seconds left. Last week against Doctorera, they win with like 20 seconds left. They've played a ton of close games, and they're right there on the line to make District 3 playoffs. They've been playing pretty good, but they get Cocalico here, and the Eagles are just scorching. 7 wins in a row. They shut out Donegal last week, still running the heck out of the ball. They see the section championship right in front of them, and they'd love an outright title. They don't want to get caught looking ahead. I don't think they will. Cocalico at home. Eagles over Berks Catholic. LS at Conrad Weiser. Weiser's doing some things. I know they lost to Wyo last week on the road on Saturday, but played pretty well. They had won 2 of their previous 3. Savan Parham is just rushing up a storm. He had 140 yards against Wyo last week in a loss, but he's been really good. But now they face the number 2 ranked defense in the league. Township leads. LS is second. They've been really good defensively. Really, really good. And they had a shutout win last week. So let's go Pioneers here over in Robizonia. LS stays with the lead pack. We'll keep an eye on the Cocalico scoreboards. We'll go Pioneers over Scouts. Donegal at Elko. Fun fact, both teams coming off shutout losses last week. So Indians and Raiders are looking to snap back, get some points, get on the board, finish drives. Jake Williams, Elko, 1,500 plus rushing yards now, leads the league. We'll see if he makes a late season push for a 2,000-yard season. Donegal really needs an adrenaline shot here because they've dropped 6 in a row, dealt with injuries. Now they have to go over to Myerstown and try and stop Williams. I like Elko here. Let's go Raiders over Donegal. Game of the week. Here it is, Section 5. Get yourself to Annville, big one. Schuylkill Valley at Annville Cleona. They are both undefeated in section play. This is for the outright sole possession lead in Section 5. And don't forget, Schuylkill Valley has to play at Lancaster Catholic next week, so there's still a lot on the table here. Panthers have won 7 straight. Logan Narwaki has passed the heck out of the ball. Cohen Gerners had 190 receiving yards last week. He's been really good up top. Now they get this Annville team that's won 5 in a row, sailing through the section here, running the heck out of the ball. Cale Harder had 200-plus rushing yards last week and 4 touchdowns. Love what Annville's doing. And Tyler and I were at Annville this week for the video show. Talked to Cale Harder, talked to Darian Holloway, and snooped around at Annville practice. Good time. So take a look for that on the video show this week. I had the Dutchmen circled. They beat Schuylkill Valley 42-10 last year. 42-10. Same week, same situation. Wasn't for first. Love the vibes here at Annville. And this time they get him at home, and they can see sole possession of first place right in front of them. Dutchmen over Panthers. That's a fun game. Okay, couple games left here. Friday night. Columbia at Kutztown. Kutztown, I've been talking about their rushing attack all year. It's been good. They get the Crimson Tide, who loves to go up top. Cameron McClare's had a really good breakout freshman season. He's over 1,200 passing yards. I have Kutztown circled. They're going to stick the ball on the ground 65 times. Tide must tackle. Cougars over Columbia. Northern Lebanon at Hamburg. Bubble teams here for district spots. Northern Lebanon is like 2 spots out in 4A. Hamburg's going to need wins and help probably in AAA to get in. Tyler Shuey went over 2,000 passing yards. He leads the league. I like the Hawks at home, but this one will be close because the Vikings have been pesky. Hamburg over Northern Lebanon. Last Friday night game, Lancaster Catholic at Pequay Valley. Crusaders still in it. They have Schuylkill Valley at home next week. Game back. They'll let SV play AC, see who survives, and see where they're at next week when the Panthers come to town. Elijah Cunningham did it again last week. 200-plus, 5 touchdown runs. Wow. Crusaders over Braves. Saturday matinee, Berks County. Octorara at Wyomissing, 1:30 Saturday afternoon. YO bounced back after the Cocalico loss, beat Conrad Weiser last week at home. Another good game on the ground for everybody. Octorara took Berks Catholic to the wire, led in the fourth, lost late. So some good mo for the Braves. I like that. They've had to deal with this murderous schedule all season. Now they got to go to YO, number 1 team in District 3. 3A, I'll take the Spartans, YO over Octorara. Week 9 winners: Central York, Cedar Crest, Manheim Township, Wilson, Exeter, Manheim Central, Warwick, Ephrata, Garden Spot, Twin Valley, Solanco, Cocalico, LS, Elko, Anvil, Cleona in the game of the week, Kutztown, Hamburg, Lancaster Catholic, YO. Friday night, backyard game for me. I'm kind of sticking close to home. I'll be over in Whitmer. I'm going to see the Buckskins and Exeter. I have not seen either team this year. We were over at CV for some video interviews earlier, but that's a key Section 2 game. Exeter needs it to get to next week with Manheim coming to town. Bucks have been tricky and are having a great season, and they can see the playoffs. So I'll see you Friday night, Exeter at Conestoga Valley. Okay, week 9. Good stuff. Enjoy Schuylkill Valley at Anvil Cleona especially. That is your runaway game of the week. Should be a fun night over there in Lebanon County. Okay, I'll see you back here for week 10. Exeter Central, Wilson Township, Catholic Schuylkill Valley. There's a lot of really intriguing games next week in week 10 to wrap it up. We'll see where everybody stands going into next week, and see who's close to clinching playoff spots. It's that time of the year. Okay, thank you for tuning in. Thank you to Auto House of Lancaster for the sponsor. Much obliged to you guys. And I'll see you Friday night in Whitmer. Stay tuned to the page for all the week 9 coverage, all the usual goodies, and I'll catch you back here next week. Thanks.